Hey everybody, welcome back to the Magic Time Wine Channel. I'm your host Thomas, coming to you once again live from the vineyards here in Napa Valley, where I love to film the most. And I'm coming to you today to talk about perhaps what is the most important topic of all the topics I'll cover here on this channel, which is how, as wine connoisseurs, wine enthusiasts, and even wine professionals, how do we control our alcohol consumption? How do we do this in moderation and not get sucked into it? Wine is a beautiful, beautiful beverage with so much historical content, with a deep, deep history throughout the entire world. And it's a gorgeous, gorgeous product made by some of the most unique individuals and humble individuals in the world. I love wine, but wine is alcohol, and wine is dangerous if you overconsume it. I can tell you from personal experience, after 17, almost 18 years in the wine profession, and as an avid wine enthusiast myself, that I've had to come to the realization that wine is an alcoholic beverage. It's not just an artisan product. And wine has had an impact on my life to where I could feed my family, to where I could have a profession that I would absolutely be in love with and live my passions, and it even brought me here to the Napa Valley. But wine has also caused an impact in my life in a negative way, and the fact that at certain times I have relied on it to control my anxieties and my depressions, and I have used it as a crutch throughout the years, and it's caused significant hardship in plenty of my relationships, even my most recent relationship. And I come to you with this humility and with a passion on this subject so that you can have a self-awareness and emerge and be able to not get caught up with a beverage that could ultimately probably destroy your life if you're not careful. Now, I love wine, and that's no secret, but it's time to be self-aware. We just went through an incredible pandemic situation where a lot of us were locked out of our normal lives, of our careers, and we were stuck at home going through lots of anxiety, depression, wondering how we were going to make ends meet. And a lot of us probably went through the same struggle as I did, and which was to try to scupper these feelings of anxiety and depression with alcohol. And a lot of us joke about it and everything like that, but it became an issue for myself, and I can proudly say that through a little bit of self-reflection and becoming more self-aware, I've been able to kind of emerge from that and become healthy once again. So besides the fact that we just went through that pandemic, this is an issue that we should talk about all the time, about how to control our consumption and how we can still love this beverage and be passionate about wine, but do it in moderation. The first things first, when talking about controlling alcohol or controlling wine, is to become self-aware. And how do you become self-aware? Well, number one, I would say, is to look at yourself physically. And what I mean by that is, how are you feeling? How do you feel when you wake up in the morning? Are you dehydrated? Do you have a headache? Do you often not have an appetite and all you can actually really stomach in the morning is a cup of coffee? How is your skin tone? How is your complexion? Does your face often puff up? Or are you retaining lots of water in your face? Or do the circles under your eyes just look a little bit deeper? Are the wrinkles in your forehead a little bit more pronounced? Are the grays coming through in your hair just a little bit more? How's your complexion? How do you look physically? Number three, how is your physicality? Meaning, are you struggling with a little bit of extra belly fat? Do you notice that at one time you were more slim down there and it's a little bit harder even if you try to control your diet even more and eat a little cleaner? Are you still struggling with that? These are physical signs that you might be consuming a little bit more than you possibly should be. Are you waking up at night multiple times during the night? How is your sleep? Are you often thirsty and having to sip water all night? Are you getting up to go to the bathroom frequently? How's your sleep patterns? So these are physical things that you can kind of look at and assess to understand where you are and have a self-awareness of your drinking patterns and how they might be affecting your physical appearance and your physical state of being. Number two, I would say, look around your house. How is it? Are you opening the trash can and noticing more wine bottles in your trash can than disposable things that you've used for food? Are you noticing a lot of corkscrews laying around the house and a lot of miscellaneous corks laying around? Does your kitchen countertop have multiple empty bottles that are starting to pile up? How often are you going to the trash can with a full bag of wine bottles and hearing them clank around as you throw them in the bin? How is the cleanliness of your house? How's the cleanliness of your car? Are you keeping yourself organized? Those are other things that can kind of give you a self-awareness of where you are with your consumption. How is your clarity of mind? How is your clarity of thoughts? Are you still exploring your creative endeavors? Are you being creative? Are you being active in pursuing your dreams? Your relationships. How are you with your relationship with your significant other, with your children? Are you connected to them emotionally? Are you talking about the future and your aspirations and your goals and your dreams with your significant other? Are you engaged in these discussions, or are you spending most of your time on the couch with an open bottle of wine, really enjoying yourselves but watching TV and then going to bed quite late? And then perhaps before you go to bed, ordering up a DoorDash or some type of service to fill yourselves full of salty foods. This sounds very familiar to me. So self-awareness. These are things that we can start to focus on and pinpoint to understand exactly where we are with our consumption. Once you are self-aware, there's a few tips that I have acquired. Now, I am not perfect, and I have struggled with this and continue to struggle with this, but over the last 17, 18 years, I have come up with certain little things that I could do personally once I became self-aware to emerge and become healthy again and to have myself under control and have a little bit more control over my consumption. Number one, I would say a lot of the times people struggle with the fact that just drinking something is an oral fixation. It's something that you like to do. It's wine more than anything for us is not a physical addiction for most of us enthusiasts. It's something we actually love to taste and analyze and stimulate our minds with. So what can you replace it with? What can you replace wine with that would give you something to drink on so you're satisfied with drinking something, but something that's interesting? Well, number one comes to mind is tea. There's so many different types of hot beverages, teas and chais and things like that that are very interesting, that are analytical. Coffee, if you can get into coffee, although you wouldn't want to drink that in the evenings too much, could affect your sleep a little bit, but coffee is something that you can really get interested in drinking. And then I would just say overall hydration, period. If you spend the day tallying how much water you drink, and you drink 5, 6, 7 glasses of water, or whatever beverage that's water-based, that doesn't have a lot of sugar or sodium, you will naturally not have the propensity to consume a lot of wine in the evenings. I can tell you for a fact that if you get your hydration straight, this can help you so much. So increase your water intake. Number two, I would say, is have a approach to fitness in whatever regard, but have a system of fitness. If you are going to the gym or you are going out running and you're keeping your physicality in check 3, 4, 5 times a week and you have a daily routine, you will not have the desire to drink alcohol because you'll know you'll have to perform that exercise or that task the next day, and you want to be physically prepared for that. So try to button down a physical exercise regime, or regiment rather, to have yourself in a routine where you know that you can't overconsume because you're going to have to perform. Let's talk about other things. Passions. Let's talk about that. What is your ultimate passion in life besides wine? What do you desire? What puts you on? Do you love to paint? Do you love to sculpt? Do you love to read? Like, really get involved and dive into your passions. Do you love to create content online? Do you love to write a blog? Really dive in and try to be invested in your passions things that'll get you to where you want to be, things that will get you to your ultimate goal of happiness and financial freedom. Really dive in. If you can invest your energies into that, then I guarantee your desire to cloud your mind or cloud your judgment with overconsumption will dramatically decline. These are just like simple little tips. I know for a fact that a lot of people try to replace one consumption with another consumption. Like, I'm not going to drink so much anymore, but I'm going to replace it with marijuana. Now, I have nothing against people that smoke pot. Occasionally I do that for recreation. But I will tell you right now that replacing alcohol and a large amount of alcohol with a large amount of cannabis will not solve your problem. Cannabis is a lovely substance that can unlock creative ability and things like that, and it can relax you. It can even help you sleep sometimes if you choose the right strain. But it also stimulates appetite quite a bit. And when you stimulate more appetites, you will have the more appetite to consume beverages as well. You will eat saltier foods. You will eat richer foods that call for wine. It will make you want to eat rich, salty, fatty food. And your immediate idea as a wine connoisseur or wine enthusiast is what wines would go with these foods. Oh, maybe I'll just pop a bottle of wine and maybe I'll start drinking. And then once you have 1 or 2 or 3 glasses, then you're down the wrong path again. I'm not saying that marijuana will necessarily lead you right back into becoming a drunk. I'm just saying that we're replacing one addiction with another one that's very similar in many regards in terms of how it physically or mentally addicts you to something or opens you up for cravings, more cravings. You're probably going to fall back into the same exact spot. So don't replace it with marijuana. That's just my personal opinion. You might have a different opinion about that, which is just fine. As wine enthusiasts and wine connoisseurs and even wine professionals, we love this beverage dearly. It'll always have a place in our lives. If you have too big of a problem with it and you can't emerge on your own and use these little tips to guide you to a place of better physicality, a better mental strength, and to be able to emerge and have better relationships and a more connected relationship with your loved ones, if you can't do it on your own, you must get professional help. You must talk to someone. My last tip is that challenge yourself to vocalize your self-awareness to your loved ones, to your people that you work with, and brag about it. Say, you know what? I haven't had a bottle of wine all week long. I have consumed a lot of water. I got my fitness back together, and I only have wine on my days off. Or I only have wine in a professional capacity when I'm tasting, if I'm a sommelier buying wine for a business. Talk about it. Be proud about it. Come together with a group of professionals and talk about how you're improving your physicality. Talk about how you're improving your mental strength and where you're going with your goals and your aspirations in life. This moral support and the people around you will help you emerge faster. Also, that's a very important tip. Surround yourself with people that are healthy, that have the same like-minded approach to moderate consumption. People that respect fitness, health, wellness, and that are not themselves over-consuming. So try to surround yourself with positive people that are in love with their passions, pursuing their goals, and trying to live this life and live this passion for wine with a moderate and conscious mind frame. That was totally off the dome, no script. I hope it made sense. If you love the videos and you loved my content in the past, please subscribe to the channel. I'm going to continue to talk about wine mostly. Occasionally I'll retouch this topic and things that I'm passionate about other than wine, but I really appreciate your viewership. Thank you so much. Please subscribe. Cheers.